Mary started working the night shift in a new factory. This factory was earlier an old mill which had been renovated, but the local people used to say that this place was haunted by ghosts. Mary did not believe these things. One night, when she was alone in her shift, the machines working in the factory suddenly stopped. Mary thought that there might be some problem with electricity. She decided to investigate with the light of her torch. As soon as she reached the back of the factory, she felt someone whispered something in her ear. "Run away from here." Mary thought that it might be the wind, but then she saw a shadow, which was moving fast towards her. Panicked, Mary immediately called her boss, but the call was not connected. Then there was a loud noise, and Mary saw that an old machine started on its own. She reached the machine and saw a blurry figure standing in front of the machine. His eyes were red, and his face was horrifying. Mary's breath stopped. The figure slowly started moving towards her. Frightened, Mary ran out of the factory. The next day, when she mentioned this incident to her co-workers, they told her that many people have disappeared in this factory during the night shift. It is said that this mill had burned down in a major accident many years ago, and since then the spirits of those killed here roam around. After that day, Mary never worked the night shift. Tom was a truck driver who often traveled long distances. One night, while he was on his shift on a lonely road in New Mexico, he decided to stop at a rest area to rest for a while. He was alone, and it was pitch dark. Tom noticed that there were no other vehicles at the rest area, but when he looked out of his truck window, he saw a man standing there in an old torn coat. The man was looking at Tom strangely. Tom felt something was strange, but he thought that maybe the man had come to ask for help. Tom opened the truck door, but as soon as he turned towards the man, he disappeared. Tom looked around, but there was no one there. He assumed it was the result of his fatigue and got back into the truck. As soon as he started the truck's engine, he suddenly heard someone whispering near his ear, "Get away from here. This is not the place for you." Tom turned around to look, but there was no one there. Then suddenly there was a loud knock on the truck's window. Tom saw that the same man was standing near the window, but this time his face was distorted and scary. Tom immediately started the truck and ran away from there. The next day, when he heard about the rest area, he came to know that many years ago a truck driver had died mysteriously there. Even now, many people see the spirit of that man wandering there at night. Lisa was a security guard, and her duty was in a security booth near an old cemetery. This cemetery was very old, and the people of the town considered it cursed. Lisa was not afraid of doing the night shift, but one night she experienced something strange. That night, a white mist suddenly appeared outside the booth. Lisa thought it was a change of weather, but then she saw a figure appear in a corner of the cemetery. She looked like an old woman who was wearing a black dress. Lisa thought that maybe someone had come in by mistake, so she started walking towards her with her flashlight. As soon as she reached the woman turned towards her. Her eyes were deep black, and her face was expressionless. As soon as Lisa reached near, the woman suddenly disappeared. Lisa's heart started beating loudly. She immediately called her officer, but there was no answer. Just then, the sound of someone's footsteps started coming from inside her booth. Lisa turned around and saw no one there, but a deep and terrifying voice echoed in her ears, "You will leave this place forever." The next day, Lisa quit her job and never returned to that cemetery.